Hi folks, so welcome to the Battle for the Seven Kingdoms final. We have Queen Elizabeth's Bastards against Win by 5, and we have managed to record all 3 games, so apologies once again for not being able to stream them live. Just was not feeling that well that week. But we did record one without commentary, and then we'll have some help, some live commentary from the teams in question for the other 2 games. But this one we have to record now, and we'll see how it went. I can tell you that the matchup is not the most balanced, at least that was our opinion before the game started, because we have for Targaryen here Prince deck. This is Prince Aegon. Who is basically a Voltron, stands a lot and does all kinds of challenges. As you can see, he has all the attachments that exist here. Queensguard most of all, and then Tokers to get incredible strength. And of course, Breaker of Chains is the big one that keeps putting the little 2-costers in. And backup Voltron, potentially Miri Mazdur, who of course, if she has Tokers, can win alone and then kill. And we have Rolly, which when we tested this deck a little bit, also sometimes got the Tokers and was strong in challenges. And the other key character here is Black Market Merchant, who can actually help find those attachments to put on Aegon. And then we have Mad King's Command here as the reset and coordinated attack to win initiative and do the challenges. And if you get everything, you have a chance. But the reason we thought this would be a struggle for Targaryen is all the answers that Fealty has. So this is a very interesting deck also. And first of all, Delena Florent means no stand, and that kind of ruins the whole plan for Targaryen. And then we have Breaking Ties, which can get rid of Aegon, of course. There's Burning the Books for attachment control, and well, it has both Valars that you need to get around. That's not such a big deal for the Targaryen deck, actually. And the main premise here is, of course, to win dominance. You have Feast for Crows as one of the rewards. You have Robert Baratheon, who can get power in dominance with Storm's End. And of course, there's Throne and Chamber, and things go potentially pretty quickly. Gendry in here as well. So, well, with that said, we can have a look at how the game went. Let me just set it up. So there we are. Let's click play on this. So it's Peter Shuck against Henry. It's the first game of the final, and we figured pressure is all on Baratheon here to win this one, because that's a favorable one, and the other 2 less so. So they kind of need to take the lead here. Yeah, Rolly is here. And there is attachment control, so traitors are in the deck, but they are not usually there to stay. There's Viserys, there's also Shadow of the East in the deck. And nothing too scary on the other side. Okay, there is Throne, so that you kind of win by default. If Baratheon struggles to win dominance, then the deck doesn't work. We saw that in the semi-finals when it was up against Night's Watch and couldn't reliably win dominance in that one. So apologies for the lack of highlighting cards and such. Can do it now. We have what we have. Septalemore. So you can Voltron the little ones as well. It's been known to work. But ideally you'd want one of the bigs, so Aegon or Miri. But Dragon Skull goes on Rolly.
One game I watched where Peter Shuck played against, I think, one of the other Lannister teams. I feel like the whole game was carried by Sim Telemore and all with all the attachments.
Yeah, yeah, we've seen that not just in this deck, but the Mammer's Fars decks in Targaryen, right? You put Queen's Guard on something small, you make it a fool, and then Tokers as well potentially. Just incredible ability to Voltron the Chuds. Okay, so Robert and Delena both in play. That's exactly what Henry needed, so he got the cards. Question is, what can Peter do about this? Stop Robert, I guess, but that's that's the one thing that you cannot really stop unless you compete for dominance. That's like 2 power. And what do we have? Do we have a Tokar?
And Toker stops a little bit Robert's ability, right?
Stops him
In
winning
challenges.
power in challenges. Yeah, he's still going to do it in dominance, but can't just put him in the power challenge. Or I guess military is the weak one for Targaryen at the moment. Just free military and 2 power from Robert's ability. If Rolly had a Toker, that would be stopped. But actually, Septal more gets the Toker and stop it on the power challenge. And what's the significance of this? Wins by 5, but there's no penalty. Oh, the Intimidate, of course. That helps.
His renown can now be stopped.
Well, John goes in this challenge, so if Septalemore opposes... Yeah.
Sorry, I think we don't have very synchronized videos.
Well, I can tell you the timer is on 1:55:25 for me, if it helps.
1:55:20. Oh, the game timer. I thought that you were gonna tell me the video time.
Okay, so Smith used early. There's no chamber to stop. Storm's End doesn't care whether it's standing or not, and Henry's just going to try to get the power for a Feast for Crows. He can survive with the 5 reserve just fine. He's up to 4, so if he gets the 3 plus Storm's End, is basically like 2 more. He could go from 4 to 9, I guess. And there's another piece, and you can't reset that really as Targaryen. Best you can try is Mad King's Command, and I feel like it will have to come at some point to try to keep some kind of pressure on. Because a wide board is enough for Henry to just win with the dominance triggers, I think. Even if he's mostly stopped in challenges. And Robert gets an attachment, that means Toker doesn't stop him anymore.
Yeah, it's a disputed claim, so I guess the main reason to put it on him is to stop Toker, right?
Yeah, if he wants to do challenges. Otherwise, it can go on, of course, on Gendry and on Delena. It can go on
Yeah,
anything.
but
Almost anything. Can't go on the reducer. Traitor on the one strength. Traitor is borderline useless here. There is a card in Shadows. I forgot to check in detail what those options are. I assume Shadow Priestess. It's going to Nil Storm's End, but doesn't really do anything. Ah, but now there is an actual threat. Can she get a toker? She can win the Intrigue anyway, alone.
Yeah, but Robert has a dupe, so.
Yeah, has one dupe. But then maybe next round you can actually get him. Hmm. Well, not that many targets. There is a window, of course, after Miri is marshaled to kneel her. Although then you're not in the Delena lock just yet. It's still marshalling, so if there is a stand, you can stand her still. And this one should go through, I think. Do you spend Rolly or not? Bara is rushing a bit, so any unopposed hurts you. Hmm. Yeah, Rolly is the one that has Intimidate on him. Maybe going to clear his way to win power by 5 or something like that. But it's costly. Could win power by 5 on defense. But I think not. Miri is too valuable, I think. Could have attacked with John here instead. But now has to spend Rolly because there's clearly something in hand. So can't really now win a power challenge with Miri, has to be Intrigue. Now what do you kill is the question. Do you start killing Robert?
You
Or
can start killing Robert, or you can try to kill Delena and hope that maybe you can get Robert next round.
yeah, with Delena in play, the plan will never work for the stand Voltron. Not that there is Aegon here. But then if you don't start killing Robert, you can win very quickly actually as Baratheon.
So I mean, if you hope maybe you can get him next round by, I don't know, Queensguard. Try to do two challenges, get some intimidate in the meantime.
Look at all the triggers now. Down to 9, but Storm's End. Peter Shuck didn't know.
And there's a bunch of these locations that really feel like they have like some triggered ability.
Yeah,
There's no reason that they shouldn't kneel for it.
that's true.
You can trigger it more than once, so it should just be a kneel, right? So it will be a bit more controlled.
Okay, so we have Mad King's Command trying to get into a 3-on-3 situation where Miri kills. But yeah, Henry was always, I think, going to play these breaking ties that can get rid of Miri. He's on 12, so if he did one challenge with Robert and got his double renown, it would just end. Now the question is, what does he do with breaking ties? Or more to the point, when does he do it? Because if you do it now, Miri can be remarshalled with the gold easily. And if you don't and she gets duped, then she's not going back to hand and she can try to kill. If she gets stand, okay, winning power alone is a bit far-fetched at the moment, but the intrigue is almost guaranteed. You can win power alone when it goes to 3-on-3 and Dokars are in play. Uses it immediately, okay. But now she's getting remarshalled potentially. Although she does cost most of the gold here. So is there a better option? And another Shadow Priestess potentially in Shadows. Kind of the perfect card to get on Mad King's Command. Viserys is going, could get rid of Disputed Claim, and then Robert can only work in Dominance again. Is it Miri?
I don't think Miri right now would really solve the problem.
It's not what you want, really. You want this deck has a lot of shadows, so you want to go from 3 characters to more on the Mad King's Command. But the thing is, Bara is just going to win, right? Just winning dominance wins the game. Hmm. Yeah, I think Peter is stuck. There's no way to survive, is there? If he'd killed Robert last round and then somehow try to do it again here, although he did lose initiative.
And last Miri.
Okay, so put some attachments on and leaves the gold for whatever is in shadows to come in. If it's another one of those guys that brings an attachment, strength could go up. I don't think it's particularly difficult Mad King's command here, so it's going to be John, Robert, and Gendry, right? Against Rolly, Septalemore, and the Merchant. Just attachments, I think Peter has to lose one.
So even if you lose power, I think you still win with dominance, right? Even if you lose a power challenge. So if you're in 11,
Yeah,
one for Gendry, one for Robert's ability, and one for Storm's End, or two for Storm's End.
Storm's End is basically +1 on its own.
So you get 4.
Yeah, if something goes before that though, let's say gets pinched or something like that. If Gendry gets pinched, then maybe you survive.
If Gendry gets pinched. Oh yeah, then you are. You will need to pinch Gendry and still win power, right? Oh, actually, there's one that goes from.
Okay, so Henry just passes. He's going to try to win with the dominance plan. The thing is, attacking in a power challenge is awkward now because of the tokers, so you can win the power claim, but that's it.
And you don't want to do anything that risks losing the dominance.
Yeah, I think he's fine on that front at the moment. I mean, Throne is 8. You can't overcome 8
Yeah.
as Targaryen. But there is mystery stuff in Shadows, so I don't know if you can defend against Pinch. I guess Shadow Priestess can come in, but it's not enough. But you're right, a single pinch doesn't necessarily stop him. Maybe it does actually. Pinching Gendry, I guess specifically. Oof, it's not pinch, it's all build bone. That's not going to win the game. Well, more potential to put stuff in. This is really good. If he wasn't on the verge of just losing, getting this kind of situation on Mad King's command, and imagine Miri was still in play, breaking ties pretty much the only thing that could just remove her like that. If Miri was there instead of the merchant or something, would be quite an impressive board. Interesting that he can't really use Quaid as it's intended, because there's nothing with that low strength. I'm going to do this, but there is no threat to do anything on this Indrik challenge, I don't think.
We're gonna play Tears of Bliss. Oh, it doesn't have the gold anymore. But
And this one you can lose. You don't need to win on defense. But he can win on defense anyway. Just Robert is not going to gain power, but unless there's some magic on dominance. Yeah. He had pinch windows on the Intrigue challenge for sure. Yeah, Miri, if she was duped, she would have really needed to start killing Robert and not bother with Delena that one time, because
but,
Robert's about to be on 5 power here.
but I think if it was this situation and you can't stand Miri, I think you have to kill Gendry to not just lose.
Yeah. Well, so the first game went about as expected. It's a win for Baratheon, and Targaryen has it all to do. So we'll do a short introduction for the other two games as well and go over the decks, but we actually do have live commentary. As I said, the teammates of the players in question stepped up and recorded some commentary. I have to listen to it first to see if there's anything controversial in there, but I think most likely did an excellent job, so I thank them for that, and we'll bring you that live commentary and the other two games of the final as well.